talked about self-love. Now, Steve says, what about self-love?
Sometimes.
Okay. You think people like you, Steve?
I don't know.
Okay. We have 10 people in the room, and every person in this room is going to tell you that I love you. But it doesn't have to be in a sexual way. It means they love their fellow human being. But what happens when you walk in a room, Steve, and you don't love yourself? You're telling everybody in that room, what? Don't like me. You have someone in your life, Steve? Who do you have in your life?
Mark.
Mark, okay. That's what I was getting at earlier, and I was trying to be very careful because I don't know what you want people. It's an open forum, and we're not ashamed of anything that we do in this world. How does Mark treat you?
Wonderfully.
How do you treat Mark?
I try to treat him with the same respect, and it doesn't always work out that way.
Explain to me why.
I think I take him for granted.
Okay. Who abused you?
I don't think I've ever been abused.
How do I mean abused, Steve?
Well, I'm thinking sexually, but
No, there's all kinds of abuse.
I think verbally I've been abused.
Okay. I want to go to the age of 9, somewhere around your 9th birthday.
Yes.
Who was that?
My father?
Was your father abusive verbally?
Yes.
Was he not kind to you?
Sometimes.
Okay. So now, where is father?
He's gone.
All right. Are you happy that he's gone?
No.
No, okay. You're very sympathetic, and I like that about you. We don't have to be happy or disappointed that that person is gone. But sometimes that person from the other side comes in to say they're sorry for all the bullshit they created. And I have to say, you have siblings?
Yes.
How many?
2.
2. So there's 1, I only have 1. Are you not close to 1?
Yes.
Okay. So, as far as...
Can you have them?
You ever go to therapy?
Yes.
I know you have. This is the quickest therapy I can give anybody. And you have to let go. Now, Mark is nice to you, all right? Because sometimes some people paint this beautiful mural. I don't know if you're that type of
He's the
person.
best person in my life.
So why do you mistreat him?
Because I hate myself.
Okay. Why?
Because this life is not what I had hoped it to be.
But you have to make it.
I know, but
you're a good-looking man.
that's what I'm struggling with.
You have to like you before anybody else can love you. I don't know you. I love you. And I'm sure everybody in the room can tell you they love you because you have something that not one of us in here have. You're an open book. You understand that?
Yes.
And being an open book, what happens? You tell the truth. Or are you a liar?
I always tell the truth.
You ever forgive your father for all the bullshit he pulled?
I think I have.
You think. You have to know.
I do hold it against him still.
What did you witness as a child?
Just anger.
Anger. So, anger what? At who?
At his world, but possibly at me not being what.
Because you're gay?
Yeah.
Out there, there's no difference of gay, straight, or otherwise. He loves the man that you are.
Okay.
Because he's stepping into my world, so now I can answer. He loves you just for who you are. He didn't understand it, but he loves you for who you are. So you're going to sit down, you're going to write Dear Dad a letter and tell him all the things you don't like, but also don't forget to say, I love you. So you really love your father.
I do.
You don't like the things he created.
You're right.
In my book, it tells you a story of my life. My father could be as wonderful as he was, could be as cruel as... I had a lisp as a child. So my father died. A couple months later, I had a tooth pulled out very strange, that lisp disappeared. I love my father, but it took me a lot of years to forgive him for breaking my chops about my lisp.
I want to know if it was my dad's time to go.
Why would you ask that?
Because he shouldn't have died.
I have to go a little more before I answer that.
because they made a mistake at the hospital and he died.
I already wrote the answer down. So if you want the honest answer, I will give it to you directly. How long is your father gone?
2.5 months.
All right. And what did they give him?
He gave him potassium chloride, and he was a dialysis patient, but it stopped his heart.
So what I wrote down, and sometimes it's very hard for me to, I don't want to be a prick about it and just come out and blatantly say something. It's not really the right thing for me to do, but it's an accident. Kill him.
It was an accident.
All right, so that's what I was given. That there's an accident, and kill him, meaning whatever they gave him, they didn't literally mean to kill him.
No, they didn't mean
But
to.
now, the universe doesn't give us 1 day more, 1 day less. When they go in and they save a person's life, that life was meant to be saved. When someone dies, meaning they're meant to leave this earth plane. We don't just, leave. When people say that person's hovering around or they're hanging around, they're not really hanging around, they're just making visits.
I just want to know that my mom and dad
Are in a good place.
So there's no misunderstanding of a good place.
It happened.
Yes. All right.
And then they know what I did for them, because they both had dementia, and I had to deal with that for a long time. And then I always felt I was the villain because I was the one who was there all the time, and I became the villain. So it was very hard for me to deal with that because I was just trying to keep them safe, and I always thought that they were angry at me because they were. But I need to know that now they know better. I just need to know that.
During the time of dementia, would they be angry with you? All right, they'd be frustrated with you? And then later on, they'd laugh.
Not really.
They never found...
Well, no, there were times they were okay. My dad had glimmers of being okay. My mom had a very bad stroke, and her dementia got worse and worse, and she was combative, and she would fight me, and I was the only one that would go there and try to take care of them because they were really, it was a real bad situation, a very dangerous situation in their home.
Did you say dementia or Alzheimer's?
Dementia.
All right. Because Alzheimer's, they find humor. I'm sorry.
No, it was
lost
dementia.
for a
My mom had a brain injury from a hemorrhagic stroke, and her dementia got
Why
worse
am
and
I
worse.
asking you to talk about their illness?
Why? Because I was their caretaker. I was the one who handled all their medical care.
Because sometimes when we talk about something is when we heal. Yes, they're both fine. We think, some of us think that when we die, that's it, it's over. It's not over. The pain is gone. The troubles are gone. Unfortunately, you witnessed this for how long you witnessed it, and older people, because I'm old, older people, when they have an illness, can become very not nice. And unfortunately, you took the brunt. But don't think on the other side, they don't recognize all the wonderful things that you've given for them. What do you have in your home of your parents?
a lot of things. I took a lot of their things.
You have a doorbell? Of course you have a doorbell.
Yes,
Your doorbell ever ring on its own?
all the time.
Okay, that's the
My side doorbell rings all the time.
That's when our loved ones know that they're fine. Let us know that they're fine. Through television, through electronics, through a bell. And that's like the silver bell. They're giving you the gift. That's the way of them saying thank you for all that you've done. Everybody out there is letting you know they're fine. And they are fine. Your mother and father are fine. What I'm being shown is a picture of them dancing.
They love to dance.
And it's okay for us to cry or to feel our pain. That's part of the healing. That's part of the mourning. Then time goes by and we start forgetting. And we don't forget them, we just let go. Did someone cross there a holiday? Who crossed near that holiday? Okay, so we gotta go back there, even though you're gonna cry. Was he able to say goodbye to you?
No.
No, because that's why I went this way to you earlier, touched my throat, because I couldn't say goodbye. Do you understand that? If I do this to you, what does it remind you of? Okay. Every time you get down or upset over the loss, I want you to do this and feel him near you because he's very much around you. Were you in the middle of not contracting, but in the middle of changing things? Were you left like in a little bit of a mess? Okay. Is your mess straightening out?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. I want you to be a little more positive. And it's hard to be positive, but you have to be able to get everything and organize this I don't know. His underwear drawer.
Yes.
Now, I went like this because I'm answering them. What are you telling me? We know that he's fine. We know that your mom and your loved ones are fine.
Does he know I did my best? I just don't want him to be mad at me.
Debbie, what makes you think that you didn't do your best?
Was I let him go?
All right.
Was I supposed to let him go?
Debbie, listen, hear me, Debbie. I wanted my mother to stay. I didn't want her to go because I'd been selfish. That's my mother. None of us wanted her to go. And my mother, the doctor said to my mother, you could live a very long time. When he walked, because my mother was an rude person to her doctor. When he left the room, she picked up her finger, because my mother was good with her finger, picked up her finger and said, I'll tell him when I'm gonna fucking die. I'm dying April 3rd. None of this nonsense, and it's a little cleaner in the book. I'll do what I gotta do. Nobody's gonna tell me what I have to do. And don't stop me. I gotta leave, and I don't want you in the room. So when it was her final moment, we had to leave the room. We followed. You did everything you possibly could do. And he recognizes, your husband recognizes everything that you could do. Even in your moment of anger, if you said, okay, it's time for you to go now. In your moment of anger, we say a lot of things. That doesn't mean he loves you any less, if that's the case. You understand that? Time for him to leave. Just like her father, it was time for him to leave, but unfortunately they made a mistake and they helped him along. You understand? If a bell sounds, or something electronic works, or television, radio, the bell, he's visiting. Even though you didn't get to say goodbye, he came to say goodbye. You understand that?